for certain. This has been an odyssey I won't forget.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Podyssey, an Assassin's Creed podcast with me, Willis Makes Movies, and my good friend The Exile. Today we are live for the second time ever, talking all things Black Flag Resynced. We have both played the game separately, individually, and we have not discussed our thoughts. So this is going to be quite an exciting episode for us. Hello at Jar444, who says Podyssey. That's right. Hello Podge as well. You're my guys. How you doing? How you doing? We got Yerba del Diablo as well, saying hello Mad Dussers. Nice to see you too. Nice to see everybody. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. We're talking all things Black Flag Resynced. But we're going to be trying to keep it spoiler free, so don't worry if you haven't finished the game. I should actually put a message in the chat letting people know that. This episode... Oh my god, Fishy's here as well. My pet monkey is coming with me to England. Punk Dallas 1646, 6 o'clock in the morning. Hello from Las Vegas. Wow. What the hell? We got a viewer from Las Vegas.
Getting up early for the Podyssey.
Absolutely. The Podyssey. Awesome. This episode is going to be spoiler free. And I'll see if I can pin that.
We're gonna talk about the new content and stuff, and like what we think about it, but we're not gonna say, what
I don't think
happened
we
in
have
storylines.
I don't think we got to go into too much detail.
But when we do our next episode, enough time will have passed where we can then do more of a spoiler discussion about it, because that's what we did last year with Shadows. We did a live episode where we hadn't finished it when we did our live episode, to be fair. But we were talking about what we thought. Yeah. We were doing like we were talking about what we thought, but we didn't get into spoilers until the actual next recorded episode where we did the full spoiler cast. So I guess we'll probably do something similar with this.
I think so, yeah. I mean, I think we're actually both at the same level, which is good. I think we've both finished it, haven't we? We finished the epilogue.
We have.
This is a good place to be at, because we're at a later stage than we were with Shadows. But it is a shorter game. But I don't know, actually, now I think about it, I've put in about 30 hours. I think Shadows was only about 40. Man, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, it was around that.
Such a similar...
the same, really.
Yeah, but...
but
man,
so different.
Where do we want to start? Where do we want to start with this?
Well, I think we've talked about how. So we've told everyone the context. So we've both finished the game. How many hours did you get in it?
Think about 32 is my current.
And I had about
time.
Okay, and did you spend most of that in the main story, or did you do like a lot of the side stuff?
Yeah, so pretty much after sequence 4, I was like, right, I want to do an outfits video before this, because we should say as well, we played the game early. We both got it about 10 years early, so we had a bit of time to get stuff ready. So my thoughts were on like, right, content-wise, I want to get the outfits in time for when the game launches. So I like stopped everything and I was like, I'm gonna do the Templar hunts, I'm gonna do the Mayan Staley, and I sort of like, I would do a little bit of story, then do a whole side quest, like all the assassination contracts, then come back, do a bit more story. And that kind of worked out quite well, because even though I finished the game, there's still a lot for me to do. Currently I'm doing the forts, trying to get all of those done so I can do the Kenway's fleet stuff.
Yeah. So for me, I had a bit less hours than you. I had about 25. I think it was 25. I've probably got a bit more now, but since I sort of made the review short thing that I did, I got 25. And I started off playing it like I play like AC2 and stuff. Like I got to Havana and I was just running around doing looting chests to get money and doing all the viewpoints. And then at a certain point, I thought, I don't know why I'm doing this though, because I'm not going to be able to do them all, probably realistically, because there's so many. I'm not going to go to all the islands and do it. So then I thought maybe I'll stop doing that, because I do that. I like to do that in the Ezio games because it's a lot easier to do. There's not as many, and you can do it all, feasibly. Whereas for me,
Yeah, there
I'm
was
not
quite a
100%.
lot.
I'm not 100% a type of person in a game. Like I like to see most of the content and all that, but I don't really go around doing every single thing, getting all the achievements and that sort of thing. So I started playing it like that. Then I kind of stopped, and then I kind of got to a point where I was like, the launch day's coming, and I haven't finished the game. So I started just playing a lot of the main story, and then after that, I sort of went back and did more side stuff. Obviously, did the epilogue. And when the new content came, like the Lucy quests, the Padre quest,
Yes.
they're not at the end of the game. They're sort of interspersed in the main game. I did those sort of as and when I unlocked them. So that's
Right.
kind of how I played it. Just to get it organically, just to play it as the game wants me to play it. Um,
Just to quickly
eh,
interject, we've had a super chat from
oh,
Podge who's given
oh
us
my gosh!
11.99 saying Merry Christmas
Wow,
lads. Oh, sorry about that. If people can
wow!
hear that.
Thank you, Podge. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
We
you
we're
very
gonna
much.
we'll YouTube will take about 40%, and then we'll split the rest, and then
Yeah.
we can probably get like a coffee.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee. I'll buy myself something nice. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you very much.
You're keeping the Podyssey lights on,
The Blue
literally.
Blitz has also said places hands on hips to watch this podcast. I was actually thinking of starting the episode like doing the hands on hips thing.
Mm. Oh, you should have
I
done it.
like the cross arms. That is quite funny.
Yeah.
Podge has said, "Is it me or does Edward look in the original look more feral?" Your thoughts?
No. Well, I don't know. I don't know. It's a completely different art style, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it is. Do
Um.
you know what? I just got the art book yesterday, and what's really funny is on the first couple of pages, it actually has like a picture of Duncan Walpole in the original and then the remake. And it says we know the bit of text is like we know in the original Duncan was like a lot more stylized and like the game had like less of a realistic art style. And I'm like, wow, they actually
Yeah.
said it. Like it's not meant to look like totally realistic. So they said what they wanted to do was like emphasize features more than like try and make everyone look super realistic,
Mm.
which is a nice
What?
detail, I think.
Even with the remake?
Yeah, yeah, they
Right.
were
Right.
coming at it from the remake. I don't know if that's quite achieved. I think everyone looks very realistic for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty
Um,
much.
but yeah, I
Also, can I
mean,
just say,
yeah,
just to let the chat know, we are gonna refer to the chat, when as and when we can, but because so that we have a sort of coherent
yeah,
conversation going
yeah,
here, we'll treat it mostly like a classic podcast episode where we just have the conversation, just so we don't keep stopping what we're saying and then looking back at chat. But when we have moments where we can breathe, we're gonna look at the chat, and
yeah.
obviously
We'll
at the
do it
beginning,
in
it's easy for us
places,
to look at it now. When I keep doing this, is because the chat's over there for me.
right?
I'm
Yeah, for
pointing
me
at it.
it's over here, so we're both looking
So
outwards when
you
it's.
go like that. Yeah.
All right, man. Okay, so I guess the big question here is right: is this the best Assassin's Creed game since the original?
Since Black Flag?
Since
I
Black
would
Flag?
say. Well, I mean, y- yeah, I
It
suppose
kind
so.
of
It
is.
depends on how you look at it, though. Like, there's more to it than that. But I guess, like, on the surface, it's so very easy to say yes because it's Black Flag. Like, it's Black Flag. Black Flag's a great
Yeah,
game. That great game is still there. It's up to debate whether it's a better iteration of that now or not, and we're gonna get into that. But like on the surface, you can say yeah for sure. What about you? What do you think?
yeah. I think it's very strange because it is the it's Black Flag again, so it's difficult to say oh it's better than like an original story. Like in some senses, okay, Origins is probably the closest to the quality of Black Flag, but Origins just has like a really good main character, whereas this is just Black Flag again, so you've already got like a really strong foundation to build on. And it's arguable that the new stuff, the stuff that reflects modern Assassin's Creed, is not as good as the original. So is it really to that standard? Or is it just... Because, look, my overall consensus with this remake is the stuff they remade is really good. If this was just no new content and a straight-up remake, I think it would be perfect. The problem is, I think, aside from one or two examples, everything they've added brings it down. That's my, like, general, without giving any specifics.
Yeah, I just realised something. Can I just say before we...
Yeah?
I don't know if you've noticed this. On the... I don't think you've noticed this. On I'm looking at the live stream just to make sure it's all right.
Right.
And all your ats Willis Makes Movies are on my side.
Oh,
And
no, I didn't swap them. Oh, no. It's because
that's funny.
the boxes are connected to the text.
Yeah,
shit.
I just noticed. it.
Oh, man.
That's
At
all
least
right.
the logos
I'll be
are in
Willis
the right
Makes
place.
Movies.
Yeah.
You can be Players Pad in the Exile, and I'll be Willis Makes Movies. And
Fuck
Willis
it.
Makes More.
People check them all out. Anyway.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Check them all
exactly.
out.
I literally just noticed that.
What do you think of the background as well? I went with the Black Flag Resynced background. I just removed Edward from the middle of the loading
I did
screen.
something similar in a video I've got coming out at like... I scheduled a video to come out today after this live, or roughly around the time I thought we were going to end. So I scheduled it for 4:15. I don't know when we'll end, but I thought, well, it gives us about 2 hours for a conversation.
Yeah, I just I've recorded like 2 videos that I still need to edit. That's my plan after this. I'm going to try and edit some videos, get them out.
Nice. But just also, the Babbling Brook says Podyssey's having a Freaky Friday moment. And then we got Excel Makes Movies.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'll start doing your accent.
Oh, no.
Saw guys. I can't do it.
That just went way too far up.
It was in the art book.
The art book. Oh, yeah, that's close enough. That's close enough.
I'd say something you do a lot. You go, all right. All right. You do that a lot. Really? Yeah.
I mean, when I'm cutting stuff out of my videos, I just say a lot. I think that's my biggest like filler word is
Yeah.
I'm trying to really cut down on that.
Mine used to be so yeah. Just saying that at the end of every sentence for no reason. I don't do as much anymore, but
Punk Dallas has said rather have the Rebel collection than Resync. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Well, what is the Rebel collection? It's just Black Flag and Rogue.
Yeah. What is Rogue? Yeah. Is Rogue what brings it up above? I don't know. Look, I've been really enjoying the game. I've been having a really good time with it. Like 30 hours for me have just completely breezed by, and I've enjoyed pretty much all of it. Like even the new content, even though it is like at some points cringy and takes away from the original. There are some scenes that specifically really like piss me off in order of like what they do to the original, but for the most part, I can just breeze past it and not think too much about it because it's still good quality, like across the board. You've got your little dips, which is when the new content seeps in, because what I wasn't expecting is that the new content is kind of like scattered throughout the whole game. It's not just side quests. There are like little bits and moments that come in and try and distract you from the main story. There's like little bits, and there's a man. I don't want to give specific examples, but some of them are really annoying, and then some of them I was like, oh, that's nice. That's a nice way of segueing into a side quest that they've added.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, I could look over it because we're going from really good 2013 game to like 2026, and then back to really good 2013 game.
So would you say overall this is the definitive Black Flag or no?
It's a difficult question. Cause like they've removed certain bits that I think made the original really good. And then they've added stuff that's like does the stuff they take away make up for the stuff they've added? I don't know. Because in some ways, like, okay, the world design's so much better. The graphics are obviously better. They've improved things like the hideout. The hideout's been given more expansion. There's obviously extra content which keeps you playing a bit longer. I think the ship mechanics are a little bit better with like different weapons you can choose from, and as you complete forts, you unlock new weapons. Like that gives the forts a bit of a purpose. Things like that, I think, is great. And then on the other side of it, it's like, oh well, the hunting has now been turned into like a mini boss fight with each jaguar, like instead of in the original where like I don't know, it seems like they took a step back. Like in AC3, if you shot an animal, it would damage the pelt. Something as simple as that could have been brought back in Resynced, but when it just turns into a boss fight with like hit markers and stuff, not hit markers, but like that indicator of when they're going to attack, things like that, I'm like, oh, why'd you do that? That's a bit of a weird choice. And there's things like that throughout the entire game where it's like give and take. Some of this is really good and some of it brings it down. Overall, I think, yeah, it does level out to an experience that will age better than the original. Like, if you ask me now, would you rather play the original or Resynced? Yeah, I'd rather play Resynced because it's more modern. It is easier to get into. It strips back the modern day, so the pacing is so much better. The stuff that they use to fill out that pacing is questionable, but it does move at a much quicker pace, even if that does compromise some of the, like, tailing missions and stuff like that. You know, they do get a little bit too straightforward, and I felt like I was flying through the game a bit too quickly at times. But and some of the stuff in the later half kind of feels a bit like it fizzles out. I suppose I can say the character without spoiling anything, but I thought Bartholomew Roberts, what, you might as well have just cut him out. You might as well have just not included him. That was a real, like, weird moment for me. And do you know what was funny? I could tell that it was added content because the memory corridor resembled the new ones where they add extra stuff to the environment. Like, you know, Valhalla will have, like, a giant god in the background or something like that.
Oh, I see what you mean.
When they get to Bartholomew's memory corridor, they have, like, a ship in the background. And I was like, oh, I can tell that's new. Because in the original, he would just be lying on the ground. And that's when I
they had to
for
change.
impact.
Yeah. 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 I'm just trying to think about how to say things without spoilers.
It's very tricky.
Because we don't really want to spoil the main story either, do we? Just in case.
Yeah, I imagine
you kind of just did spoil a bit of it. That's why I was like, what do I say?
Oh, I don't know. How are we meant to talk about that without saying the changes that have been made? Like, yeah, certain characters have had changes.
Yeah, definitely. Like, this is something I didn't even notice to realize to start with until as I played a bit longer. But yeah, like a lot of the main story stuff, like cutscenes, have been tweaked, haven't they? And changed a little bit more dialogue added, and that sort of thing. And I
hell of a lot of new dialogue added.
Well,
I don't think Edward shuts up.
Oh, you talking about in the game where he just
in general, he just never stops talking now. I mean, I don't know if that's like a bad thing, but it definitely felt like
I think it is a bit much because I could very much tell in the game when he's always going, oh, that's class, or
that line in particular. He said it at such inconvenient moments.
Yeah.
He would like raid a plantation and free some slaves and go, "That's class."
Yeah.
Like, what? Why did you say that? He says like, "Pretty." At one point, he goes, "Oh, that was pretty." And
like,
that does not sound appropriate to what's happening.
Yeah, but he says a few things, and also I find that in the main missions now, there's new lines while you're playing the game that he'll like reiterate what he has to do and stuff like that, and I think it felt to me a bit like handholdy, like, oh, we have to always tell the player exactly what's going on, where it's like we knew what's going on, we already know, we saw the cutscene 5 minutes ago.
There's an indicator telling us where to go. Like, I remember specifically, there's a bit where he says,
it says it in the top right, top left.
Yeah, there's a bit where he says, Anne'll be waiting for me. I should get back to her. And I was like, that is exactly what Naoya said. I can remember Naoya saying, Yasuke will be waiting for me. I should get back to him. And like, the indicator says it at the top of the... Yeah.
Yeah. The end of every arc in Valhalla, when he says he's got to go back to Randvi.
God, yeah. That is that kind of dialogue where it's like, we need to add indicators to where to go, which would make sense if you didn't have like objectives in the corner, but you do. So why do you need that extra layer?
I think what they need to do in an update is they need to add the ability, like frequency of like transient dialogue, you know, low, medium, or high. And right now it seems like it's on a high frequency. I feel like they could do that because they do that with, I don't know if Black Flag Resynced did it, but they've done it in like Valhalla and stuff with like music frequency. How often does
they do have that in Black Flag.
play?
Yeah, they do have.
Do they?
They have like sea shanty frequency. How often they start singing? I had that at high, and they just never stopped doing it. So I had to slow that down.
You gotta go. No more singing now, Jack, or whatever he says.
Yeah. He's just like,
stop it now.
Leave it for now. Yeah. But some of the dialogue that he does that's really good is just like when you'll go to a random island, he will say something about the island, and I feel like that's good. That adds like a bit extra context to like where you are. He'll go like, "Oh, this place has been abandoned for ages," or like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's like they've thought about what each island's purpose is and how he would respond to it." That kind of stuff I really like. It's just when he like quips during combat and stuff, that's when I'm like he goes like, "Oh, you never should have come here." I was like that. And it sounds like I don't know. That stuff's a little marvelly. And unfortunately, the reason that it stands out is because I think the dialogue in the epilogue specifically reflects that kind of Edward way too much. Without spoiling, they just kind of treat him like he is a Marvel superhero. Like everybody loves him, they look up to him, and also that he's like really funny and quippy and not going through anything at all. He's just a stand-up guy. And I thought that was weird, especially to put at the end of the game. Fair enough if it was at the beginning, but after the whole game has took place, we're now just gonna do like a Saturday morning cartoon like TV show after the game. That didn't sit well.
So going back to the initial question of this game being, and I would like to give my answer, as well, regarding is this the definitive Black Flag? To going on your points you've just made, I think there's too much changes, negative changes to class it for myself as the definitive Black Flag. I think if I could take the original Black Flag, bring those new graphics over, maybe I'd leave the new stealth system in there potentially, and not really change anything else. Maybe take out the modern day as well. So just have it like that.
Yeah.
I think that could be, but I just think like, even on like a gameplay level, the controls scheme is just it's very a lot clunkier and a lot less. It feels less satisfying to control Edward and to run around and to do parkour. And I think the fact that I just made a how to do classic controls video and it got like 30k views in 2 days because there's so many people are looking that up. And they have been for the past, since Mirage, when I've been making these videos. Those videos always do well because people always want to know how to play like the older games because the older games play better. Obviously, not everyone's going to agree with that, but a lot of people do.
Yeah, I've had a lot of comments on the videos I've put out about the control scheme. I think this is the first time I've realised how serious an issue it is for people. Like, people are genuinely fuming about this control scheme. Yeah, like, this has been an ongoing issue, and I think it's going to be a similar situation to parkour, where, like, it's only when people started really shouting about it that they noticed. And I wouldn't be surprised if, like, a post-launch update, or even if they just tailor the next game to have, like, a better control scheme, they could just do it in an update. It wouldn't take too much work, I don't think. But even your video, like, compromised Like you said, oh, you can't use photo mode if you do it this way.
No, you can, you can.
Yeah.
It's you can use everything. It's just it makes the what's it called, the widget wheel, is that what it's called,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you do your kicks, you press a button and then you can do your kicks. I had to move that onto L3, so I had to click in and
Oh,
then press X to kick, for example, and it's not the best button to use for that, to be honest. It still works, but it's a bit more, you know, you got to stop moving and you've got to do it. And again, I said in the video, like, there are going to be uh it's not perfect. There's gonna be like sacrifices here because Ubisoft have not done it officially, at least not yet. And that's the issue though with the way the newer games play. They're made in such a way that to bring it back to something we kind of want, there would be so much sacrifice, you know. But then
yeah.
Mirage did it a bit later on, didn't they? So
They did.
um
I don't know. Yeah, but I don't think Mirage had as much to balance. I mean, it's kind of similar to Black Flag, I guess, but
well,
Mirage didn't have
you said
abilities, did it?
no, it didn't. But you know, you say that, but I feel like Ubisoft probably could do something for Black Flag Resynced because you know, with the
Yeah.
changes I made, that wasn't the hardest thing to do, and you just move in a few buttons around to make it feel like the older games, you know, and like it does work. Obviously, yeah, it does. But I just also, before we get more deeper into it, I just wanted to say I am still, you know, very happy with Resynced. I think
Mm.
it's really a really good Assassin's Creed game. Obviously, because you know, like we said, it's got a really good Assassin's Creed story
Yeah.
that came before, so we got that in there. Again, I think it looks really nice. Yeah, the new graphics obviously do sacrifice the original art style, and whether that's makes the game worse or not, it's up to interpretation. I do think you lose a little bit of charm of the Caribbean from the original, but then again, it looks really nice in the new one, so it's not something, you know. But but yeah, I don't think Resynced is the definitive version of Black Flag. I think in some ways it is, but
Mm.
in a lot of ways it isn't. Um, and that's what I think going ahead's like in you know in a couple years to come when I want to play Black Flag again, I probably will be torn about playing the new one or the old one. Um, and I said in my short, you know, there's not enough in Resynced to make me want to play this over the original. But I think now I thought about it more. I think yeah, like a year's time, I decide I want to play Black Flag. It will definitely be something I toss up, like
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
original,
good point. Mm.
Resynced. I don't know, and you know, for a remake, realistically, the intention is for it to replace the original. Surely,
Yeah.
maybe not. I don't know. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Where do we want to go with the conversation from here? Do we want to touch upon specific things like the new content, or because you know we could talk about the main story all day, but we've done that for years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
So
true. That's true. I
what do
guess
you want to do?
there's
What does the chat want us to
yeah,
bring up? You
actually
know?
that's a good point. That's a good point. What do you want us to cover? Because I mean, we can probably talk about the new content without spoiling it. Like if we just say,
Yeah,
what did you think of the Blackbeard stuff? What did you think of the officer stuff? Like that's probably
yeah.
fair.
We can say like, for example,
Rank
that
the officers.
cutscene.
Oh yeah, true,
Yeah,
true.
rank
Yeah, yeah.
you know, like like there's a specific scene that tarnishes potentially a scene that came before it. What do
Hmm.
you think about that? And like
Yeah,
if you've seen that scene, you're gonna know the way we're gonna talk about it, you're gonna know. If you haven't got to that yet though,
yeah.
you won't be sure which scene we mean, so
Can,
then we're
can
gonna
I
preserve
can I
you
ask
know,
you
spoilers.
on in terms of that? I do have an example that I've wrote a whole video on it. Well, not wrote. I've recorded a video. It's gonna come out very soon. Because there was only one moment in this entire game where the new content took me so far out of it that I got pissed off. I actually like paused the game. I was like, what the fuck? Um,
I have a scene like that too. I wonder if it's the same one.
I think it might be the same one. It's something that happens. Let's say about
Yeah,
halfway through.
they do this. They go it like there's a scene and all the
Oh
hands go up with the logo,
yes,
the
yes,
tankard
that's
of
it.
mead.
It's yeah.
We hear a certain theme song
Yeah.
that Black Flag didn't have
Do you
before.
know what's funny though? I actually thought it was ruined before that. It's
Really?
the actual event of that happening. Um, there is a shot that they insert in, and there's
Oh
also
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, and there's a bit of
It's like
dialogue,
this. It's like
right?
this.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, and I
like
that's when I paused it. I was like,
yeah.
this is arguably the most important moment in the game, and you're just gonna stick this guy grinning. Yeah, no, that really took me out of it. And also the dialogue before that, when you're like, engaging in combat, right? They insert a lot of dialogue into that. They insert a lot of exposition to try and set up stuff, and it's at the worst moment because that's when nobody's going to be paying attention to what's being said. I like thank God I had subtitles on because I could not hear anything they were saying because there was that much destruction and like explosions, and I was busy trying to like fight. And meanwhile they're going, this character is this guy and this is his backstory and he's important because of this. Like, are they talking? Were they talking in the original? What are they talking about? And then suddenly it happens, and I go, oh, that's who they were talking about. It's just to set up this stupid thing. And then afterwards, we get a scene that's meant to be like nice, but then immediately after the new content, we go back to the original and we get basically the exact same scene, but done better with a certain. If I do this motion, do you know what I mean? If I this scene where he's doing that. He's in his cabin. He's in his cabin doing this with a candle.
Oh, I don't remember that
You
bit.
don't remember that? He's with another pirate character.
And this is original or new?
It's
That
it's
that bit.
original, and it's like a
Right.
much
Yeah.
better scene of him after those events. But before that, you need to get through the new content, which is like shoving two. It's setting up the epilogue and it's setting up a side quest, and it's
Yeah.
way too much in one go. And it really, I think, detracts from the most important moment in the game. It's the moment everything goes to shit and it starts like a downward turn.
Yeah.
Just to actually quickly wrap up the main story, I actually like really enjoyed revisiting it. I don't think it took away from the main story too much overall. Like when certain characters don't make it or when certain actions happened, I was like, oh yeah, I remember why this is such a good game. Like there's a particular death in the game that still got to me. I was still like, damn, that was really good. That was a really good scene. Like this is why I liked this game so much. So there were moments where I really felt the original come through in the best way. And then there was hands on hips stuff.
Mm. Also, just to say, we got another super chat donation from
Yeah, we do.
Azuro. And by the way, Azuro
That's a
is
member.
a Podyssey member. And Azuro joined, I believe it was sometime before after we recorded our last episode. And if you were wondering, Azuro, that's why we didn't shout you out, because when we recorded it you weren't a member, but by the time the episode came out you were. So shout out to you, shout out to our members, by the way. We appreciate you guys, and thank you for the dollar. And we'll make good use of that. We'll make good use of that one.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you for becoming a member as well. That goes a long way to
Yes, it
supporting
does.
the channel.
We appreciate you.
Take advantage of the email that we've set up, which I have
Oh
not
yeah,
checked.
guys.
I need to go and check
Right
that.
in. We're not gonna read right into this episode because we're doing a special live one. But our next episode, we'll get in. We might. I don't know if we will our next episode actually, because we're gonna probably do the spoiler cast episode. But
Yeah.
potentially the one after that, we're gonna get through all our write-ins. It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
Members
I don't think
write-ins.
anyone's wrote in yet.
Well,
Nobody's
it's
wrote in
there
yet,
if
so
they,
you've got a
if they
chance
like.
now.
Yeah, exactly. But going back to what you were saying. Remind me, give me a little summary of what you're saying so I can come back to you with it. I forgot now.
I like for the most part, the scenes brought me back to the original game. Like for the most
Ah,
part,
yeah, yeah.
the presentation. Like I know they changed some stuff. They like changed some facial expressions, which was a little bit weird. I saw on some occasions like side by side with the original. I was like, oh yeah, like they did pull a face in the original, but they don't here, and it loses a bit of the scene. I don't know why they did that. Like even right at the beginning of the game when Duncan Walpole pulls the pistol out on him, bloody fucking pirates, and then his gun doesn't go off. Edward in the
Yeah.
original is pulling like a really goofy smile because it's meant to be like haha, and in the new game he's just kind of like doing his default expression. He's not like smiling as much where I could tell, oh, he's meant to be doing a goofy smile. I don't know, like moments like that, it kind of lost me a little.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
No, I get you. But that's well, I feel like that can so easily happen with remakes because it's another group of people that did not make the original that are now analyzing this and what do we change, what do we not.
Yes.
And they're gonna have their opinions on what they should change, which the original creators might not have, and some of us might not think, and that's just what happens with remakes, isn't it? You're taking a piece of art and you're giving it to somebody else to change and make their own. So I'm not excusing bad changes. I'm just sort of thinking that's probably that's got to be kind of the reason.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say
And
it's an
again,
important thing. Like, if someone's playing this game for the first time, they're not going to notice things like that, and it doesn't matter. But it did, like, for someone who's played it originally, I did have a moment of, like, for example, a certain character winks at Edward in the original and doesn't wink at him in this one. And I was like, oh, why did they do that? Why did they get rid of that wink? Like, that was important, I think.
guess they didn't see the subtleties in
Maybe.
body language and stuff. I don't know. Well, I mean, you look at the new content and it doesn't do anything
Should we
like
go
that,
through
does it?
that? Should we go through the new content?
Yeah,
Let's talk about each
I
one.
think so. We're gonna talk. Yeah, we'll talk about like the different officers. We'll
Yeah.
probably talk about the epilogue characters and stuff like that. But again, we're not gonna
No, we'll keep
spoil
it.
that
Keep it
stuff
spoiled
for you. We're gonna give our thoughts on the quality and who their characters are, but we're not gonna say, oh, when this happened, when that happened.
No, not at all.
And then yeah,
So, should we start with Lucy Baldwin? Because
yeah, okay.
I think that she's the worst of the officers.
See, I disagree there. I thought she was the best.
Really?
Yeah, Padre
Oh.
bored me a little bit. He got a bit
What?
better at look.
Padre was my
Padre's
favorite. He was my favorite. Fuck.
Oh, another super chat by the way from Podge. Again, we do appreciate you.
Yes.
And would you like to see a Rogue remake? We'll answer that, but I'm gonna forget what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
I think we should
answer
get back to that. I would like
what we should do is I reckon any questions like that we'll save for a segment near the end, and then we'll just go through them. I think that's probably the best way to do it, right? Okay. All right. Padre. So I thought. I mean, all of the new missions, again, without saying what actually happens, they're all, they're all set up pretty much the same, aren't they? You go and do sort of a quote unquote bandit camp, and their little story surrounds that.
Yeah.
It's go here, kill some guys, and then see what happens at the end, sort of thing. And I thought the Lucy Baldwin ones get kind of into the action a bit more, whereas with Padre, I couldn't. I was
right.
I was disappointed that in his first mission, and again, not gonna say the context and spoilers, but you're going around his village like carrying boxes and just chatting to the NPCs, and Edward's dialogue just does not sound good in that moment, and I was just like, oh, what is this? And to be fair though, his character did get better as it got into his story a little bit more.
It does make sense why they do that, like why that first mission is so calm. Looking at how the story plays out quickly afterwards, they need time to set him up.
I guess
with Padre, I really liked. I felt like that was the only time they thought, right, we can actually add a bit of historical context to this. Like, this is a real thing that we can address. So they went through, like, the religious thing. I didn't know, like, that religion was, like, outcast and they had to do it all in secret and, you know, practice, you know, I don't know. It did have some cool stuff, I thought, that one. That had, like, an interesting character, and I thought there was a nice reflection on Edward's story as well, because, can I say what Padre's backstory is, or should we leave that? I can keep it vague and just say, like...
Just keep it super vague, I
Super
reckon.
vague.
Like, nothing Ubisoft wouldn't have told us before launch, you know
No,
what I
like,
mean?
well, he was a pirate. That's all I want to say. He was a pirate. And in that sense, we know that Edward, at some point, doesn't become a pirate because of Nassau and all that stuff, and, you know, he stops being a pirate. And I thought, oh, they're doing a nice foreshadowing to what will happen to Edward. That's what I thought with Padre's story. I thought there was a nice parallel with what Edward will go through. And also, I liked that Padre is not like a nice guy. Straight up, he's like kind of deranged. And what is cool is when you like raid a fort or you'll attack a ship, he will join you. He will like hop across to the fort as well. And I could hear his dialogue while raiding a fort. And I thought that made him feel more like part of the crew. Whereas Lucy Baldwin will just stay on the ship and like bark orders and stuff. He like
She just stands like this.
stuff. Yeah, the entire time she just doesn't move. Whereas I felt like Padre felt like he was doing a bit more and like he's fighting with you, and I thought that was like just in gameplay terms, I thought that was quite nice. Lucy, I don't know, there was just something about like this. It's like a family drama with her storyline, and I really just wasn't engaged in it at all. I thought her performance was really good considering the limitations of the new cutscenes. I thought her face model and expressions were actually very good, considering Edward's weren't. I thought it was really quite well performed. It was just the story itself I thought was a bit too simple, and it throws a lot at you, and they don't really give you a reason to care about what's going on. It's just like, there's this thing. Oh, and also there's this thing and this person. I'm like, okay, what? You lost me. You lost me. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I get you. I think I was drawn more to the less towards Padre and more towards the Lucy character. I think it was more the performance, to be honest. I just thought, again, Padre, voice actor is pretty decent as well. And
he's a much more subdued character, though. I think he's a lot more solemn. Yeah.
But to be fair, that's one thing I'll praise the new content on, is that the voice actors and the performances actually, aside from Edward's voice in it, you know, they weren't. They were alright. You know, right. You know, you wouldn't get those types of characters acted as they did in Shadows, for example.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I thought. Yeah, they felt a little step above that. I was trying to think, like, oh, did Padre maybe just not fit in this game? Would he have been more of like if he was in AC2 remake, would that make more sense? You know, that sort of thing, just because of the character he is. But no, I think it was good. Yerba Del Diablo has said Exile only says that because Lucy Baldwin is his real life friend.
Yeah,
but that's a good.
That is still so
That's
weird. That is so weird. It's felt the same way as well. It's crazy. But also, real quick.
Yeah.
Ethan Fishy mentions Dead Man Smith, and now that's actually another.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I was gonna mention that.
Yeah, I agree. He was not. I didn't think he was. He was nothing really, was he? He was just there, and then he's there, and you grew. Like there was not really much to him. Without spoiling,
his was a weird inclusion. Yeah, a weird inclusion.
And, like, I didn't understand, like, they made him out to be this mysterious guy and what he's saying, and then nothing ends up happening with it. And again, I won't say what that is. It's just like the way he's got this weird aura about him, but then it never really explores that at all.
That's
and
a
Edward's
good point.
Just like, ha.
That was really bad. That was really bad. I was worried because I thought, okay, so Dead Man Smith we know is a more well, you can see just from his design, he's got like burns across his face. He's quite thin. You know, he's clearly not been treated well, and that makes him very. He's a very deep character. He doesn't talk much, but when he does, it's like philosophy. And he reminded me of Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, because he's just always negative about everything. You know, Eeyore will just be like, okay, time to die. Like, that's what Dead Man Smith reminded me of. He's just like, he's ready to go at all times. And I thought it was really like, I was nervous to see how goofy Saturday morning cartoon Edward was going to react to each line of dialogue. I was like, oh God, what's Edward going to say? This guy's like, you know,
I
hate me
well,
life. Yeah, he goes, well,
you should just join me crew, mate.
I think there's a bit where he's like, just lighten up. We'll lighten you up. Join the Jackdaw and we'll make you happy. It's like, what?
Yeah.
But what I did like is the way all three of these officers are integrated into the epilogue. I thought that was nice. That was nice because it made it feel like, okay, we're going to use these characters we've set up. They're not just there for like a little mission. We're actually going to have them bounce off each other. It was nice actually getting interactions between the three of them. That's where I felt they were at their strongest. That's where like Dead Man Smith is almost funny because he's being really negative while everyone else is being like positive towards the situation, and they're saying, oh, come on, lighten up and stuff. And that worked more when you're in a dynamic, like a team. Whereas when you're just doing a mission with him, it feels a bit awkward to have Edward, who doesn't really seem to care about how serious the situation is.
True. But I think even still, like, when it does work better, it still gives you there's no context of why he's like that. There's no real,
I mean,
like,
there's
like,
a backstory to him.
Is it? It wasn't explained very well. I don't know what it is.
Not his actual role, but like obviously his that village and stuff like that. You know.
I must have forgotten.
It's a bit strangely conveyed, to be honest. What did you think of the you know, the flower? If I say flower, you'll understand the very end of the game. You know, Edward picks a flower in the original as well. Yeah,
and he kneels down like this.
Yeah. How did you feel about that getting an origin story?
Wait, remind me.
Well,
when did that?
You know where Dead Man Smith has? No, it's the Blackbeard quest. It's the Blackbeard's treasure quest.
Oh, I didn't do that one because I couldn't be bothered to hunt around
done it?
treasure. No,
it's just one location. You just go to one place and it's there.
I looked at the picture and I was like, I don't know where that is, and I just carried on.
No way. Oh no.
That's the one new
awful.
Content I didn't do because I thought it was just collect some treasure and then you're done. I didn't think it was gonna do more than that.
If I tell you that it's not just treasure, it's something with a bit more importance to it. It's like it's a
the
lesson
friends we made along the way.
Yeah, it's a lesson to be learned. It's not just gold. That makes it a bit more interesting. But then it leads to the origin of that flower. It picks up at the end. It's like a whole
how long does this flower live?
I don't know. It's just a shot. It like zooms in on it growing. Well, it's already grown, but it just zooms into it like sitting there.
God.
And it's meant to be one of these like Marvel moments where everyone goes, "Whoa! It's the flower that he picks up." Like we did not need an origin story for that.
When Einstein was in Oppenheimer and everyone went crazy. He turns around.
It does genuinely feel like that, and that was hilarious. I can't believe they did it. I really advise it. It'll literally take you 10 minutes to do. It'll give
maybe
you a good
I will.
laugh. The cutscene's actually scuffed as well because I thought it was just my game, but then I watched it back on someone else's gameplay. It like clips through a set of stairs in the cutscene. It happens on every playthrough. It like the camera goes through a set of stairs and it clips through the wood, and it just looks really bad. But yeah, anyway, so I guess that covers the Blackbeard treasure.
God, that's a good example of why this cannot really be the definitive version of Black Flag, right? You know what I mean?
You could just choose not to do it. I would advise just
Yeah, you can just choose not to do it, but that's like the conversation. Like, don't like it, don't play it. It's like, yeah,
True.
but it's
Well,
still there.
Ubisoft used that excuse this weekend. Did you hear the microtransactions? Everybody was complaining that the outfits had to be paid for in the shop, and they said, just don't buy them. That was their actual answer. They've got like a actual backlash because of that.
God. Oh.
They have in the art book, they have they have a whole page dedicated to the microtransaction stuff, like the fiery ship and stuff. And it says, "Oh, we tried to keep it grounded while adding fantasy aspects, but still resembling assassins or pirates in some way with each one." It's like, what the fuck? No, you didn't.
Oh man.
Nobody's
Yeah,
buying
it's
those.
oh,
Awful.
people will buy them. People will buy them.
They
People
shouldn't.
will. People they will because people who play AC for the reasons we play them won't. But a lot of people who played like
Yeah,
Odyssey and
yeah,
loved
fair.
getting the gear, like they're gonna be like, oh my god, look at the Sauron armor. You know what I
It is
mean?
literally that as well. It looks so awful. Oh man, I should have had the book next to
Uh,
me. I could have used it to show some funny
yeah.
examples. But yeah, uh, okay. I
Can
guess
I ask?
yeah.
Can I ask what
Okay.
your thoughts are on the rifts while we're
Oh
talking about new
fuck! Are we
content?
talking about the rift? Do we even need to talk about the rifts? Right. I've done the
Well, to be
second
honest
one.
though, can I say that's kind of the one thing that doesn't really have anything to spoil, so we can kind
No,
of talk
true,
about that more
true.
open, you know?
Yeah, yeah, we could do actually.
I've done a few of them now, just to get a gauge of the difference between them.
That's why I did
But
the second one because I thought the first one was so bad. I had to try the second one, and the second
what
one was
was your
mm,
the Blackbeard one, right?
the Blackbeard one. Uh,
Yeah.
just just as bad, but at least there was like combat and action stuff going on. But like a Blackbeard boss fight with floating pirate ships in the air and like a Pirates of the Caribbean whirlpool.
Yeah,
What the fuck's
diving
going
into
on?
it.
What is going on?
Look, can I give my thoughts on the rifts overall, right?
Yeah,
Going into it, like before we had seen them, like before the game came out and we heard through wherever we heard it, through Ubisoft or whatever, that excuse me, that they were going to be what if scenarios. I think the first thing that jumped to most of our minds was so it's going to be like cutscenes with these characters doing different things and we're going to play through a scenario. A little bit like the Tyranny of King Washington, like not maybe not like
yeah,
that, but
yeah, yeah,
in the way that that is the story, something that could happen, could have happened, and the Animus is simulating that. However, that works in the lore, whatever, probably doesn't, but that's what I thought it was going to be. And then you get into it, and it's not that at all. It's literally an Animus AI, sentient machine being, whatever, that was set up very loosely in shadows that not really
yes.
anyone read into. And then you literally just follow a path doing some like puzzles. In the first one, you literally carried a chest of gold, and if you
Which was
all the
meant
way
to
through the
represent your
levels.
heart or something because it had a health bar or something. It was-
Yeah, and you put it if you
Oh,
put it down, you will lose your dream forever.
yeah,
It's
that's
like,
it.
oh
That's
my
it.
god, what is this? Like Disney.
Subtlety
And
does not exist.
and it
Just
doesn't.
does not exist with it. The guy's like Edward Kenway really wanted money, but what he really needed to do was go
Really?
back home. I'm like, oh wow,
Like
really? Oh, amazing.
I could have never guessed. And then yeah, and also like they're playing I think you said this in your review as well, like they're playing literally audio lines from the like dialogue that
Yeah,
hasn't happened in the game yet, and it's like you're
yeah,
spoiling it. Like there was that Caroline one where I won't say what for spoilers, but there's one of the Caroline flashback scenes you literally hear, and I hadn't even got to that point in the game yet, and it takes the weight away from the
yeah,
actual scene. And again, gameplay wise, it looks cool. Like aesthetically, you've got all this like floating ships and all computerized. It looks cool, but that's it. It just looks cool. There's not actual any substance to it. And modern day wise, I will say though, if this was in the original, like 13-year-old me probably would have thought it was sick. I will say, but as that was 13-year-old me, as a
I,
25-year-old
yeah.
man who's looking for something with a bit more substance to it and a reason for it to be there, and who understands the series on a bit of a deeper level than I did when I was that age. I can see that it's not good.
Have you done all
And
of them?
no,
No.
I've done oh, so I've done two of them, and
There's four,
I'm
isn't
about
it?
to start the third one. Yeah.
Right, because
So I've
I'm
done the
really
same as
curious
you.
about that last one. I just want to know if like it ends leading up to anything. Because with Shadows, the
Um,
rifts did finish with like a tie-in to Black Flag. So I'm hoping that the final rift does have like something to leave
I
us
think it
with.
will probably just be that, and the AI going, uh,
Hmm.
carry on with me, and we will see more adventures, and then
Yeah,
the whoever it is, the
it's an
modern
eagle.
day
It's
guy,
it's an eagle that flies around. It's a
well,
physical.
the modern day person.
Yeah, it's a bird. No, I mean the guy called Eagle, the guy that
Oh,
speaks who goes, "Hey guys, we need to get out of here."
yeah, yeah.
That's an
He'll
eagle.
he'll come in at the end and he'll be like, "Don't worry, I'll come back for you."
Yeah, that's.
And that'll be it.
Oh man, yeah,
What do
but
you know what I was thinking the other day? Obviously, those are the gameplay modern day stuff, but like then
yeah.
you've got the rest of the modern day stuff that you read
Oh,
in the Animus menu, and you can find those by literally collecting
yeah,
collectibles out in
they're
the
in
world,
the
and
they're in the world.
it will say new data file unlocked or whatever, and you'll read it, and you'll get little bits of information of what's going on in the modern day. But that is just, in my opinion, no way to do the modern day, because imagine in Assassin's Creed 1 the only modern day was reading Vidic's computer. It would be like
Yeah.
point. You know what I mean? That's
I haven't
what it
read
like.
any of them to be honest. Like when I have a quick glimpse at
I've
them,
read
I'm
one.
like, they're just nothing. They're nothing. They're like emails and texts and just like,
Well, yeah,
I,
I would start reading a few sentences of it, and I'd be like, what is this? I don't
yeah,
know what's going on, because I'm not it's not involved enough in the game as a modern day
no.
should be. Uh, and
I,
so I just would go off. There was one cool one though. There was like
oh,
a picture. It piqued my interest because there was like a picture from like a news broadcast, and it was of the Abstergo building, and it was people rioting outside of it because they had
okay.
it was something like a load of people died, and they were blaming Abstergo, and I thought it was kind of cool because it was
That's
set,
what they
and it was
need. They
set
need like visuals. I think getting people to
they
read
do.
is boring. Like that Devils of the Caribbean remake trailer that they put in.
Yeah.
That was fun, and that was like, oh yeah, yeah, that's something that I am going to engage with because it's a little trailer. Whereas I'm not going to read fucking this much text. And I think the problem as well is a lot of the text is actually like censored. Like they don't use people's names. They
Yeah,
just
like
put
redacted, it was saying.
DR or WH, and I'm like, who are these people though? I don't know who's speaking. So how am I meant to understand what's going on? They
Yeah.
like made it purposefully complicated to read.
Did you realize that all of the modern day is set in like the 2090s?
I
Because
I
in the
think
one
there
I
is a bit
in
where
the
they say 60 years ago or something, don't they? In the rifts.
well in the news broadcast image that I was saying about the
Oh
Abstergo,
no.
like people, it says the year, and it says like 2092 or something.
What the fuck's going on with this modern day
And
story?
like, but that's the thing. Like, I thought that was cool because I was like, oh shit, I wonder what's going on in 2092. But then it's like,
There's
okay, well
no
then,
reason for them to do it. They don't. They're not
but
planning on following that up with anything.
well, the only thing we can hope is that in Hexe, Ubisoft tell Darby, right, this is the direction, this is where we're setting
Mm.
our modern day, and then hopefully he can do something fucking cool with having it in the future. Because technically
I hate
AC1
it.
was and AC1 to Brotherhood was set in the future. It was set in 2012.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
there
That's
could
true.
be something cool done with it. If they involve Basim. But anyway, that's another
Yeah.
conversation for another day, isn't it?
Um.
Um,
I guess something else I want to mention about the rifts. You know the main menu music when you're just looking at Edward on the timeline and you can choose shadows and Black Flag and stuff. There's that little bit of music that sounds so good It's like the Black Flag main theme, but it's really slowed down and echoey, and it only uses little bits of it. It kind of swaps in
Chopped and
between it.
screwed. Is it
It's
chopped and screwed?
it's really good. And I was listening to it, I was like, holy shit, this actually sounds like creepy and like a distorted version of it. But the music only plays for about 15 seconds and then it loops. And you can hear a hard cut when it loops back round. I was like, if this was a full 3-minute track, right? It sounds so creepy. If you put it in those Rift missions, it would sound like it would change the whole aura of it. Because that's what I think we're missing. We're missing creepy Animus from Brotherhood. Not
Yeah.
action movie like, oh, we're in a simulation. Make it creepy. That's what I think we're missing. We're missing the vibes of it.
And that thing is, they've got every reason to do that in Resist because you're supposedly in something called the Dark Animus.
Yeah.
So it's like it should be creepy.
Visually, we don't know what that looks like. Are we still using a VR headset? Is it like a cloud? What?
Hopefully Darby can explore that
Yeah.
and do it some justice in the next one. But
Well, actually, another new thing that Darby added with these Caroline cutscenes. I mean,
well, he did one of them,
about
didn't
one.
he? There was only one, right?
Yeah,
he did
but
one.
I was like, because they showed that hot chocolate scene before launch, so I was like, okay, I'm waiting for the next one.
We
like,
can probably talk about that one with spoilers, right? Because it was already shown.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It actually
Everyone's
came at
seen
a good point in the story. That's what I was worried about. I thought it was going to come later on when Edward's meant to be like a bad guy. But no, they did it at a good time. And I was like, oh, I'm excited. What else are they going to add? What new cutscenes are we going to get? And then we didn't really get any. There was like one new scene of him banging on the door and not being let in. I was like, where are these new Derby scenes? What? Did you see anything new? I didn't see anything outside of that like hot chocolate scene.
So I was under the impression going in that he'd done like two new scenes. He did that one and he did something else, but I'm yet to know what he changed. Did he? Maybe he did the Robert's ending scene. That's all I'll say for spoilers.
Oh, maybe.
Did he change that? Because that was all
I
right.
was sure he only did Caroline scenes. I think that's what they said ahead of launch was like he's come back to write new scenes for Caroline, but there wasn't. They weren't like
new scene
scenes. Yeah, they were just like a couple of minutes. Like the second one's about 30 seconds long and has like just Edward banging on a door. Like it's not the greatest thing ever. I think that one's new. I know the one where he slams the door on her is in the original. Oh, what's happened there?
Yeah. What has happened?
Is the stream
What have you
still
done?
on?
Oh god, I hope so.
Because it's just came up that Opera has run out of memory.
Oh no.
I think we are still streaming. Yeah, we are still streaming.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just disconnected it. I think it's just disconnected it from. Oh no, we are still there. Sorry about that, guys. Little technical issue, but I think we're all good. I'm gonna close some tabs just to make sure it's still.
Well, I'm watching the stream right now.
There's no.
And
issues.
we're still going. We're still going.
That's okay. That's okay. I just thought something had gone wrong, but okay. Anyway, yeah, that door slam scene is in the original. It's just the one where he goes to her house after that's new, and it's just a bit sort of okay. The Dark Animus. That's a good one. Oh man. Yeah, no, I don't I think they oversold what Darby had done because everyone was like, "Oh, we're okay. Darby's written some new scenes." No. Edward getting a hot chocolate. That's all he added. Edward just getting a hot chocolate.
I think that was pretty much in there just to. Well, it was to show, I suppose, that he did care, but also to maybe give a bit more context on, like where Caroline's family, like they came from.
Yeah, that she was rich and he wasn't. I think because that's quite.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really surprised they didn't add anything from the book. I don't think they read it, to be honest. They didn't add anything from the epilogue of the book or the prologue, which was like, yeah,
it would have been
obviously
cool. it would have been cool if instead of the epilogue we got, we had something
Yeah.
different.
The second
Something
I
that was
saw,
already...
well, if you've played the original, there's Edward is Haytham's father, and in the original we see
What?
Haytham. In
No
the
way.
original we see Haytham, and when I saw him in the remake, I was like, oh man, I wish we just stayed here and carried on from this moment.
Oh, that would have been cool, wouldn't it?
But
Yeah.
but I was like, there he is. Let's have a couple of scenes training Haytham, leading up to when he becomes a Templar, because that's a really important.
Or even
moment.
even like involve Reginald Birch a little bit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
You see him, with the daughter, but then you see him talking to Haytham a bit too much, and you're like, what?
Stuff like that.
I mean, nothing too much, but subtle.
I think they would have had to do it in this game because I don't think they do it in AC3 Resynced. You know what I mean? I think if they're doing AC3 Resynced, people are probably going to want to less Haytham.
Knowing of AC3 remake, they'll just cut.
They'll
the
cut
best
Haytham's entirely. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like you can just play them anytime. It's just
mate,
like
I wouldn't even play it at that point. I wouldn't even play it because I
they
prefer
actually
Haytham.
would. I'm just thinking about that. They actually would. They would cut that entire first chapter, wouldn't they?
No, because that is the best part of AC3. They would be cutting the best part of AC3, in my opinion.
I mean, they're going to cut the Desmond stuff, obviously, but that doesn't get rid of enough time to add new stuff. Fucking hell. I think AC3... I know this is skipping ahead to like what the future looks like, but I think AC3 is a much better next resync than AC1. I think now we've played Black Flag Resynced, I don't think the first game is tailored for this style of game. If you know what I mean. I think with AC1 they would have to change a lot more to make it fit.
Yeah, I think AC1's gonna be... I'm not hopeful for that remake.
Like, I think this does work for Black Flag. This, like, okay, Shadows to Black Flag, I can draw the line there. But then going to AC1, I can't see it happening. AC2 onwards, yeah, absolutely. It's just that first game is so different. I don't see how they're going to resync it. I think AC3 is a much safer option to go with next because it is literally like the sequel to Black Flag. I don't even think, like, Podge had said with the super chat earlier about Rogue. I think with Rogue, they would have to add, like, an extra half of the game because it's half as long as Black Flag. It's quite short. You can finish it in, like, one sitting. So they would have to add too much, I think, to make Rogue happen. And they would have to make the story, like, more fleshed out. I think it is just going to be AC3 next, personally.
Yeah, but we already know it's AC1 next. Like,
well, they're going to fuck it up. I think they are going to fuck that up. I think it's too different. It's too different from what they've been doing with Black Flag. Then again, the cutscenes are probably going to be exactly the same. Because AC1's cutscenes are just standing. They just hands on hips Altair when he's talking to Al-Mualim. I guarantee that's going to happen.
Oh, no. Also, just for a bit of context, if anyone watching doesn't know, while we're saying we know it's AC1 next.
Yeah.
When we had, it was like 2 years ago at this point, we had like, I think it was Insider Gaming, whatever they're called. They came out saying that there's gonna be these code names and that one's a remake, one's a multiplayer game, Invictus. They had codename Obsidian, which was Black Flag, and then they had codename Stardust, which is supposedly AC1 according to their sources. That's kind of all we know, but Obsidian did correctly turn out to be Black Flag. Ubisoft have since acknowledged AC Invictus when there was leaks, and they said, haha, actually we're going to make a really good multiplayer game, so you're wrong. But like, there was that whole thing.
We may know the answer to that by the end of the year.
So it's likely that they're also right about Stardust being AC1 remake. So that's how we kind of know that. And you know what? It's like with Ubisoft leaks, they literally are always right. They always are.
That is true. Yeah. They're really bad with leaks.
I remember when I started, like, AC3 was getting announced, and I remember there was colonial assassin artwork that got leaked, and people were like, "This
Yes.
is going to be the American Revolution Assassin's Creed." Since I fully started looking obviously I've been into Assassin's Creed since the first one as a little kid, but when I started getting into YouTube as a kid and looking into all that, every single Assassin's Creed game has leaked since, and it's always been
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much right, aside from some obvious stuff like when Valhalla, somebody put a screenshot of the Prince Charming from Shrek on a horse and said it was Valhalla. Do you remember that?
No,
It
I
went
didn't.
like
I didn't see
viral.
that.
E- Yeah, everyone was making videos on it saying like, "Is this Valhalla? Oh no, it's just
Oh,
Shrek." Like
I
that
just
was a whole
remember
thing.
it getting like when it was first announced and they did that like painting live. I like tuned in to watch them paint
Oh yeah,
the
that was cool.
Valhalla.
That was
That was the
cool.
first time I sort of learned about that. Because I
Yeah.
really was tuned out. Like after
Ah,
Origins, I was so tuned out. But I remember like Unity leaking that picture of him on top of the cafe, wearing
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the fearless outfit, and the Origins leak
yeah.
as well when he had the same design from the Black Flag
Yes.
modern day.
Oh really?
Yeah, that
Ah,
there's
because
a
I
there's a piece of
remember.
artwork in the Black Flag modern day that is the exact same design that leaked later on. There was a cowboy one as well, but we never ended up getting that.
See, I remember for Origins, what I saw leaked was it was like a really low res picture of a screen of Bayek holding a torch towards a pyramid or in a
Oh,
crypt or
right.
something. And then Syndicate, there was a leaked screenshot
Oh, was
of
that
the
the
zip
victory
wire in a
stuff?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
it's the zip wire in the train station. So they always leak. So they always
That's
leak. So again, Black Flag remake, that
mm,
was rumored and leaked. Obviously, we're playing the game now. So sometime maybe I don't think it'll be next year because I think we'll have
I
Hexay
think we'll have
next year. But I think
Hexia, then a remake
the
after.
year
Yeah.
after that is probably going to be AC1. Um,
That's gonna be
so
tough.
there you go.
I think with Black Flag, I was a lot more optimistic that it would be good, and it is. It is for the most part, but I don't think you could just take Black Flag and put an AC1. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I think I saw somebody
I
joke that we're going to be using L3 to run with Altair.
You will though.
That's
That's
not
the
gonna
thing.
that's not gonna fly
That's
with
the
a lot of
thing.
people. That's a different level of bad.
Here's the thing, and once we've wrapped this part up, we can get back into the Black Flag stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
with the an AC1 remake, it's easy to do a Black Flag remake, to an extent because it the way the world was set up, the way the story is presented, you can translate that to a more quote unquote modern Ubisoft style of game, right? We've seen that
Mm.
they've managed to do it, and again, that's a game that can be translated a lot easier. AC1, look at AC1 and then look at Black Flag Resynced, like that's a completely different like format of game. Like they're gonna have to do, like you said, so much more to remake the first game, and I really don't think they'll do it any justice. I really don't think they will. I think what they'll do is they'll when they announce it, they'll say we've made changes to the game to reflect modern
Oh
audiences,
my god,
and
wait, do you
what
think
that
they'll change his voice?
I think they
Do you
will.
think
I
they'll
think
do
they'll do it a
Revelation's
new voice.
voice?
I No, because that guy got outed allegedly, to my
Oh.
knowledge. I could be wrong. I
Oh.
think he had maybe SA allegations against him. If I'm
Oh.
wrong, then I'm wrong. I should look
Okay.
that up and verify it.
They
It's
could
not.
get the original guy back, but get him to do the accent that he was gonna do originally. I think that would be kind of cool. There's no way they're gonna get him to do an American accent. Do you think Unity is old enough to do a resync and get everyone to actually speak French?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Nah, we'll get
Just
AC2. AC2 is a
just
solid
to
one.
I just want to verify what I
Mm.
said there because I don't want to say that if it's not true. It said, so I've looked it up and it said, this is according to Google. Cass Anvar, who voiced
That's sick.
the older version of Altair in Assassin's Creed Revelations, was the subject of over 30 public allegations of
Whoa.
sexual harassment and assault. So that's where I got that from. So we're
Holy
probably not going
moly.
to use him again.
No.
Or at least I hope not.
But, what was the other guy? Philip Garbaz? Have I got that right?
Rings a bell.
I think that's the other guy. He originally auditioned with a Middle Eastern accent, and they wanted him to be American instead. So maybe they could just get him to come back and re-record in an actual accent. That could be kind of cool.
And also just to go off of, I can't even read my screen. God. Yerba. Just to go off what he said in chat here, he says technically if Hexe is supposed to be more linear AC, it could be a good foundation for an AC1 remake. And if that is the case, then you could be right there.
That's
It
a good
depends
point.
what
If
that
they're
game is
tailoring
actually gonna be.
Yeah.
If
If they're
that
maybe
would make
testing
sense.
that for AC1, yeah, that's a good idea actually. True as well, Bloodlines has a different voice actor for Altair. Maybe they could use the Bloodlines actor. I think they should bring someone back. I'd be a bit disappointed if they just gave him an entirely new voice.
Unless the voice was really, really good.
Yeah.
But it will probably be like this. Oh, Al-Mualim, I see you wanted to speak with me.
It'll just be Basim's actor again. This sounds similar enough.
Well, can we use that as a good segue to get into Edward's new dialogue in the new content? Like, specifically how Edward speaks.
Oh, okay.
Because we've talked about the new dialogue, but we haven't really talked about that. But before we get into that, I need to go to the toilet.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to
Are we
put
going
a
to
thing
flick
on
to
there?
our... Let's practice. We've got a special
Alright.
be back in a minute screen, so we're going to try that out.
Yeah. I might.
Then we're going to get into it.
I might grab something to eat while I'm there. So, right, we'll be back in a couple of minutes, guys. Let me just transition us out.
Don't go anywhere. Don't... Okay, come on. Should we mute ourselves?
I don't know how I'm gonna. Okay, we're back. We're back. Hello. We're back from a toilet break. No, no, we didn't just get down, have a piss, come back up. It's actually just a green screen. We got it, just a hole. I don't know. Poopy seeds. Oh man. Wait, what was that? 5 nights at the Podyssey. Nice. Oh man. Yeah. Go on then. Oh, we cannot hear Exile. Sorry, shit. What have I done there then? I've muted the desktop audio. There you go.
Am I back? Oh,
You
guys,
should
I
be
was
back. I do
saying
apologise
I
about that.
didn't take a piss down there. That's what I was saying. I just popped up for fun. But something like that. Oh, and I was saying, I was not sat on a potty, whatever. And then it reminded me. I wanted to quickly say to everybody, I was sat in a Weatherspoons once, right? And I ordered a burger with my friend. This is like 4 years ago, and there was this like a mother and like 3 kids sat at a table right next to us. It was disgusting. If you're eating, just stop your eating right now and then carry on after. Hello? Oh, there you
I'm
are.
back. Sorry, I just had to shut the door. I forgot to shut the
She
door when I came back.
literally whips out one of those little kid potty things. She gets the kid naked right
Ooh,
by us.
what?
He starts shitting everywhere in the thing. And it stank. It was so, and I had my food right next to me. I was like, "What are
Oh
you doing
no.
at the dinner table? I know it's Weatherspoons, but come on!" Oh my god, it was crazy. We were just absolutely disgusted. We felt sick because we're right at our dinner table. It was grim. I'm like, literally the baby changing toilets is probably around the corner. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, sorry
That
about that,
must have
guys. Carry
stank.
on with your food. Oh, bro,
That's
it was
stanky.
horrible. We moved,
Oh, good.
obviously.
Yeah. Jesus.
We weren't gonna. Oh, well. Anyway,
Hmm.
what were we talking about?
We were gonna talk about Edward's dialogue, yeah, because
Edward
it's
is a very
different.
stiff man in the new content.
Do you
He's
think
stiff.
it's Matt Ryan's fault? Do you think,
No,
or is it the
no, 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 no. It's not Matt Ryan's fault because there is new content with him the way he sounds good. For
yes?
example, I'm gonna just say Robert's like final scene
Hmm.
to avoid any spoilers. His final scene that has been changed quite a lot from what it used to be to account for removing the context of the modern day and all that. Is he sounds like at first I was not like you make a good point that it's obvious it was new because of the new
The new
it was
style of yeah.
it was presented very differently, but I didn't catch on to that when I was
Hmm.
playing it, and I just thought they just changed the way it looked, but that was the original dialogue until after the fact when I looked back and I was like, oh my
Hmm.
god, it's changed a lot. Edward's acting is very good in that, and it blends nicely with the main game, but when you've got the Lucy quest line, you've got the Padre quest line, and
Hmm.
less so in the epilogue, but even still in a lot parts of the epilogue is he has that classic Ubisoft, like I said in my review,
Hmm.
that modern Ubislop dialogue. It's
Yes.
it's him, and we can talk about how his character like moves and looks with the animations. I guess that's kind of part of it, but
Hmm.
just talking about like the way he's talking, it is very much more like I used to say for Shadows. It's more like binary dialogue. It's more just like pointing out the obvious and responding in a way that allows the actual character to carry on their conversation. And it feels very, this is how I feel anyway. You can feel free to disagree,
Hmm.
but it comes across very like he is vacant. He's not really there. He's kind of not really listening, and he's a bit robotic. And for an example, people, like for a paraphrasing example, Lucy would be talking about her sort of all of this exposition, she'd be going on about a backstory, and he'll be there just sort of watching, and you'll look at his character when it cuts to him, and he'll just be kind of like that, and then all of a sudden he'll go, well, it's good you're here now, sort of thing, and she'll carry on, and then and then it will cut back to him, and he'll go, well, I need you out in my crew, and it's just like it's just it lacks everything that makes up his character. Really, the only thing that resembles Edward is his voice in that part. And again, I don't like to your question. I don't think it's Matt Ryan's fault. I think it just is the dialogue. And can I say one more thing while I remember, and then I'll pass it to you? I find with this if you, quote unquote modern Ubisoft dialogue, if you want to call it that, they don't think about how a character would say things. So with Edward, he would probably, I would assume off the top of my head, he would probably shorten words down like, oh, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. In his new writing, he says stuff like, you are going to go and do this. Like, it's very, you enunciate your words. And that's just not something, it takes away from the way the character comes across in that, because it's very generic. That's what I found with the new content. What do you think? New dialogue from it.
Well, I mean, we give Naoya's voice actress a lot of flack for her performance, but I think Matt Ryan is now a great litmus test to tell it's not his fault. It is absolutely, I think, the way he's being directed. The writing, there is an issue with that as well. Like, I'll get to that. But if we just focus purely on like his performance, there are weird line deliveries. There are many times throughout the game where I was like, why is he saying it like that? Like, the line might just be, you'll be a good fit for our crew. And you go, you'll be a good fit for our crew.
Exactly.
Like,
it has to be, you have to make sure all your words.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like they've told him to speak clearer and slower so people can understand what you're saying or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think the actual writing, it's, as you've said, it's very... I almost want to say like ChatGPT, because it's just like, this is how the character speaks.
He'll be like, you're so right to question this, and that's on me.
Yeah, but it sounds like they're definitely not in the same room to do the performances, because he sounds like he's just been told what line to say in isolation. So she'll be like, I'll not say, my father is a bad man, and he'll just go, well, that does suck. That is a shame. But on the jackdaw, you will have a new family.
Yeah.
And it sounds really bad. But I think, the writing is just not there. Across the board, the writing is just not there. They portray the characters as, like, too over the top. They don't feel like real people. Like, I think... I know that I had to Google this because I didn't think Blackbeard's actor came back, because he sounds so different. And apparently he did. I thought he was playing it up like a bit more like...
He's more like...
He sounds like, well, hello there, Kenway. That's how he sounds. He doesn't sound like there's that great scene in the original when he's threatening the guy. He's threatening him. He does his whole thing with the lit ends, and he's your bones for cha and all that. And then Edward goes like, "Oh, you're still trying to scare people?" And he goes, "Yeah, of course I am." He drops the act. Yeah. He drops the act straight away and goes, "Yeah, of course I am. Like, it's working. Can't you see?" Yeah. Whereas in that gives it a bit of nuance, because it's like, okay, he's putting on an act. That's his whole thing. He's using fear to his advantage. And then in the new one, it'll just be like, not like that kind of inflection at all. He'll just go, "Another adventure, Kenway." It's like, this isn't the same guy.
Aren't scared of me, are you, Kenway?
And it's like, we've seen the behind the scenes mocap of that scene, and we know that it's motion captured. We know they're in the same room together. That's why I think Matt Ryan sounds quite like a lot more natural when he's talking to Blackbeard in those like sequences, without saying what the context of those sequences are. some animus trickery or
Animus magic.
visualization, yeah, as to what's going on there. I bet
It did
they
that a lot.
probably
It
saw
did
the
that
final
with.
scene of the game where everybody's sat on chairs, let's say, around a table, and they thought, oh, we can do that a few times now. We've established in the law that characters can be sat around a table, and be animus magicked. So we can now do that with Blackbeard and other characters. And yeah, Blackbeard in particular, I just felt. And that's just the original game has such good performances. Like Charles Vane, every scene he's in, I thought he was great. Like especially in Resynced, just hearing his voice alongside what he's saying and doing. When he's just in the cabin talking to Edward and stuff. I was like, it sounds like a real person. He sounds like a real person, like who actually has like a plan, even though he's not in the game much. His like really quick descent into madness is really well like told, I think. And then you compare that to the new stuff, and there's no feeling. There's nothing to take away from it. It doesn't seem like it has a purpose. It's just there to sort of like someone has sat in a room and went, right, here's the 3-act structure. We're gonna just this is where it has to start, this is where it has to end, and we're going to just plot it out. And we don't care how we get to that point. We're just going to get the characters to force us into each position. The hidden one has left a message. There seems to be an audio balancing issue too. Matt Ryan's new dialogue sounds like it was recorded right up against the microphone compared to the other new lines for the character. Yeah, I said that in my review. I thought Matt Ryan's dialogue in the first couple of sequences sounded like he was like right here and speaking really quietly. It didn't match everybody else.
Yeah, I didn't actually notice that, to be fair. But if I went back, I could probably hear it. So, is there anything else you want to say about the dialogue? Or we kind of covered that because that's kind of what it is, isn't it?
It's just really rough. I mean, we haven't.
Yeah.
I tell you what though. If we are still going to talk about the new content, like I guess we've kind of. We can maybe talk about the epilogue a little bit more in depth, but I will say the one time. Yeah, absolutely. I think the one time that the new scenes, I was just like, okay, that was actually good, was the Steed Bonnet one. Did you play through the Steed Bonnet one?
Yeah.
Yeah? That was great. I thought that was like, not what's the word I can use. That was a good bit of additional content for his character that wasn't in the original, and I think was needed. That's maybe the only thing that they've added where I was like, yeah, I can see why you've added that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was good.
Also, Podge is being a real one right now. Podge just sent another €249, I think. The curious couple talking about AC. Okay, all right. Well, we appreciate you, Podge. We appreciate you.
I keep
if you want to be a
throuple. Oh, hey. Just gonna go back and like these super chats. There we go. Yeah, thank you everybody who's donated. By the way, that's very kind of you to send some our way. Yeah,
definitely. Thank you. And like we said, there's been a lot of good conversation in this chat, and there's a lot of questions. So sort of near the end, we'll have a little read back, and if there's any good questions, we'll get into that potentially.
Yeah, we'll save like 15 minutes for a Q&A or something, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Should we talk about the epilogue then? Because I think we haven't really touched upon the major elephant in the room for the epilogue, and that's that. Oh God, it's again. I won't say what happens in the story, so don't worry about that. But we're going to talk about general vibes and general setting, I suppose. And the big red flag elephant in the room for me is that it's focused on Edward's lust for gold and how that can harm the people around him and how, But the thing is, this is the epilogue. This is set. The context what I thought is it probably isn't set after he meets his daughter. It's probably set sometime after he's an assassin, just before he meets his daughter, around then,
You
right?
say that, but I think they've added a little bit of dialogue. I need to check if this is in the original. But before Edward leaves and he speaks to Anne and he says, "Won't you come with me?" He says, "I'll be sticking around for a couple of months before I go."
Well,
I
okay.
think
Well,
that
then
was the
that
line
makes it
to try
even
and
more
shoehorn in
egregious.
when this takes place.
Well, that's the thing. Regardless, it's set, definitively set after Edward comes to the era of his ways, and he has moved past this. He's now become an assassin. He's trying to be a better man, and then we go into this epilogue, and he's like trying to. Again, I'm not going to try and say too much, but it's very clear that he's learnt nothing, and he hasn't got to this point yet. And I
Yeah.
just think, how do you do that? Like, I just don't understand. I really don't like. Someone needs to tell me. I don't understand how whoever wrote that and made that said, right, we're gonna do this. This is an epilogue, and Edward's gonna be really greedy, and this. That. Did you not play the game? Did you not just do a quick summary of the story and his character development to realize you can't do it for an epilogue because he's already moved past that? His character has already moved past the greed, the lust, and he's now, um, as Roberts puts it in the game, he's now more stoic.
Hmm.
That annoyed me because I just
Is
don't
that a new
understand why
line, is
they'd
it?
have done that for the epilogue. No, it was in the original. Robert
Stoic.
goes ever the stoic.
I do like
Oh,
people notice it. Like Atabai says, "Oh, this is not the man I met a few years ago would have never said stuff like this." That's a nice subtle way of implying character growth. Not Yeah, it's funny because when you just said what the premise of the epilogue is, I was like, that's just the main game. That's the entire story of Black Flag, but just
it
told
would make.
again.
And the thing is, you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to tie into the themes because I'm trying not to spoil it, but you know, there's a I guess a
Mm.
kind of there's a kind of turning point near the end where you see that, oh, maybe Edward is learning from his mistakes here, and that can kind of tie into the rest of the game. But again, it's set at the wrong time, and we know it's called the epilogue. Firstly,
Yeah, you can't
there's a
play it
lot of
before the end.
no, you can't, and there's a lot of goes off the back of a lot of stuff that happens in the main game, which I won't get into. There's
Mm.
characters that are in the adventure with you that wouldn't have been unless you'd already got
Yeah,
to that
yeah, I
point
get
in
what
the
you mean.
main game, and so you know what his character's supposed to be at this point. And I just don't understand why they could have done that story and made it a little side story in the middle of the game, and then it actually would have worked all right, because by the end you can then see how all these different things led to him becoming a better character, a better person, and not having that greed. And you know what I mean, like if they put it somewhere in the middle of the game, but
Mm,
you put it at the end of the game, it makes no sense.
I mean, I'm probably gonna have to do like a video on it because when I'm trying to pick apart how to fix it, you just gotta start again. There's too many issues with this story that they try to tell. There's too many issues to try and fix it. I feel like the characterization of everybody is really different. The officers do appear in it, and I thought, like I said earlier, that's nice to have their interactions.
Yeah.
But the main female character, I thought, just became like a wet wipe. Just became really like a stick in the mud and like a Karen. Like not the kind of character that they'd been built up to be. I just found like, oh, okay, like um how do I say this without spoiling? This character becomes a main character like at the end of the game. And so I can understand them going, "Oh, well, wouldn't it be nice to spend a bit more time with her as a main character? You know, give her and Edward some adventures together to sort of flesh out her more now that she's with him." And that resulted in something that just made her seem really like I don't know, just like not like a fun character. She was just there to tell off Edward all the time, and it felt very lazy writing. It's just like we
Well,
can't
I mean,
think of like anything for her to do, so she's just gonna complain, and that just felt like a real like step back from who she was originally.
yeah, I mean, I think the idea, and I agree that it wasn't done as well as it could have, but the idea was to be that, that voice of reason, to show, that's the path, the idea of the path he needs to be on. And but again, I see what you're saying. It comes across more as, yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's a character assassination for Edward as well, because like you say, the time that it appears in the story, and also the setup that's been done for it in a certain sequence earlier on, like if you catch my drift on how the epilogue is introduced throughout the story, motivates Edward in the epilogue. But then, to turn that motivation and start to focus on money, it's like, wait, so did you not care?
Well, yeah, yeah.
Did you not care about the initial reason that you were doing this? So that kind of makes Edward out to be even more of a dick.
No, to be honest with you, that actually, I didn't think about that. That's very true. That is very true. It's like,
and then of course
he's got. But then you could also say that that was the flaw with his character to start with. He has these noble ideas and these noble goals, but then when it actually comes down to it, he's selfish. So you could argue that, but again, it's all but it's still all redundant because they said it at the wrong time of the game when he wasn't like that anyway. So,
what do you think of the character of Robert Maynard, who is the Joker of this?
Yes,
he's the Joker to Batman. I think that's what they were trying to do with him anyway.
That's funny because in my video that's coming out in like 20 something minutes, I literally said he does the Joker smile.
Yeah, but I think they try and make him like that unbeatable opponent for Edward, this guy who he just can't keep up with throughout the story.
Yeah. I'm going to try and think of how to talk about him in a non-spoiler way. Just as a character, I think I liked that again, this is what I appreciate about these new characters, is that they are much better quality than I thought they would be in regards of like how they're acted, the way they come across. Like I'm not saying it was really well written or anything. I'm just saying, you know what? It's a level up than what I thought it would be coming out of Shadows. You know what I mean? Like,
okay,
you can at least with a character like Maynard, you can sense a sort of personality. You can kind of get a gauge on maybe what sort of character he is, and maybe the motivations. Whereas in a game like Shadows, I see you disagreeing with me there.
I don't agree with that at all.
With a game, but what I'm saying was, with a game like Shadows, there were so many targets that you just couldn't place really their motivations, the way that their personality. With Maynard, I think, okay, he's a pompous asshole. I can very much tell that. He's also
you know what? I'm just gonna go and get the art book a second. I need it for a point. Please continue to the audience.
You can still hear me.
Yeah.
You can hear me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. All right. Well, I was just going to say, you can tell that he comes from he's probably had a well-educated upbringing, the way he comes across. Like, there's enough in the performance that I can appreciate. But that's not to say that the actual writing that was done for his character is really, really good. You know what I mean? So obviously I have problems with that, but just on a performance level, I think I think the actors did a really good job with what they had, and I think they did a really good job at bringing across these characters' personalities to help the player understand, okay, this is kind of who we're going to be dealing with, and this is kind of why they're doing what they do, that sort of thing. If you get what I mean.
Yeah. This is Robert Maynard in the art book. There he is there. And the art book actually says what his motivation is. Now, I don't think this is in the game at all. But apparently he specifically hates pirates that have taken the king's pardon and then gone back on their word and started doing piracy again.
Oh,
That's what it says. It says for this reason he hates Blackbeard most of all and considers it his life's duty to bring him to justice. Is that anywhere in the game?
I think it's more kind of implied, but it's not really outright said. Like, you know, again, without giving spoilers, there's moments where he's like, just take the. I think he like tries to urge Edward to take the king's pardon. Does he not? He's like,
You
stuff
know
like
what?
that.
If they played him as like a genuine, like he actually thought it would be better for him to do that, then yeah. But the way look that I can't go into the specifics of the scene, but the scene that starts the epilogue with an apple, right? I just thought that was the most
Not the apple of Eden.
No, not at all. I thought that was the most ChatGPT introduction for a villain you could possibly do. Like, it's so bad. It was so bad. I felt like they were trying to make him into the Joker.
You want to know how I got this apple?
It's like, I did not like Maynard at all. I thought that was just such a bad inclusion, to be honest. I don't know. They could have done him as like a little side quest, but I think they tried to make him bigger than he probably was as a character, and it felt like we're just gonna insert a character that wasn't in the original and make him the best. He's now the ultimate pirate hunter. He's killing the best of the best, and Edward cannot thwart him.
Yeah.
And who knows if he does or not, but let's say maybe he gets, I don't know.
Yeah. What are you drinking? Like, what is that?
Oh, it's an air
What is
up.
that big bottle?
It's an air up.
What's that? Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so
does it make the water taste something like?
Yeah.
This is not a sponsorship, by the way.
No, not at all. Although I would love to, because I'd love to get these pods. They're quite expensive. Sorry, I'm just trying. There we go. Right. So this is just a bottle of water. Right, it's a cup, and then you put this on, which is now glowing white, but it's apple. It's an apple pod. It smells of apple. You stick it on the straw, and it tricks your brain into thinking that the water is apple flavored.
Does it actually work?
Yeah. So when I drink this, I think I'm drinking apple juice, but it's not. It's just water.
Does it really taste of apple juice?
It doesn't taste like water. It does taste like it's got a little bit of a filter. Yerba says alcohol. Yeah, this is actually just this is cider flavored.
No, but what happens if you hold your breath and take a sip?
I don't know. Should I try? Just what? Hold my nose so I can't smell it.
Well,
you've got to smell it because it tricks your brain to.
Yeah, don't smell. Just don't breathe out. Hold your breath.
That tastes like water.
Does it?
Yeah. You need to actually smell it in order to trick your brain into thinking it's water. But yeah, I just got one recently. I need to drink more water. So.
It looked like a massive whipped cream machine
that would
thing.
Be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, like a big coffee.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, not on a day like this. It is warm. I got the door shut. I got to keep the windows shut.
What's the temperature for you up there?
Oh, I don't know. 18 degrees. 18 degrees. That's all right, actually. That's not so bad.
Shall I look at what it is for me?
Yeah, I bet it's worse.
18 degrees. It's 30.
No way.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's 30 degrees. Yeah, it's not too hot down here because I'm in the basement.
Oh, I suppose. So yeah, a little bit cooler.
That's nice. When your apartment's lower down, the sun doesn't really get in as much, and we have the blinds down. So, it actually if I went outside, it would be boiling. But when I come back in, you just get a rush of cool when you come in.
Nice.
It is nice. It is nice. It is nice. It's actually mine and Chloe's 3rd anniversary today. So yeah,
you got anything planned?
Yeah, we're going out for a meal tonight, which would be nice. And then next week we're gonna go because we can't really do it this weekend. So
Mm.
next weekend we're gonna go away. We haven't booked anything yet, but we're gonna probably go away somewhere down to the coast, the
Oh,
southern
flick.
coast. Yeah, it'd be nice.
Oh,
But
that'd be great.
oh god, I need a wee again now. I need to go pee.
Do you know what's funny? I do
I,
too. I'm really glad you've said that. I'm really glad you
well,
said
see you
that. I've
guys
done
in
so
a
much of
bit.
this. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll be back.
yeah.
We'll be back soon. All right. Be right.
You have to mute us.
we are back.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Right.
Right. We are going to talk about gameplay. Because we haven't really, like you said when we were off camera, we haven't really talked about that properly yet. And
Yeah.
then, so we're going to go for around 20 more minutes, because I'll have to go in about 20, about 20 past I'll have to go. So I reckon let's get into it, and
Yeah.
then we'll run through to our super chat questions, and then we'll have a look at a few questions we can fit in before we go. That's the plan.
Yeah. Cool. So I guess,
Do it.
should we start with combat?
Yeah, what do you think? What was your initial reaction, and what do you think now after completed it with combat?
Well, before the game came out, it just seemed like Shadows' combat, so I didn't really have a second thought. But now it's out, and I've played it, it's like, oh, it's actually very similar to the original. You can just button mash, counter kill, like all the time, and there's even chain kills, and there's hidden blade. Like I said this in my review, but I think the hidden blade being used for kill animations, I think it works. To be honest, I don't hate it. I think I see enough of the hidden blade while I'm playing to feel like it's there. It doesn't feel like something that's just a tacked on inclusion. I think the combat is very easy. I'm surprised how easy it is compared to Shadows. Shadows, I think, had more of a skill curve, and I mean, Shadows only had like 2 or 3 executions once you finished the combos and stuff, like the actual kill animations. It was only 2 or 3 for each weapon. And Black Flag kind of has the same thing, but there's only one weapon, which makes it the repetitiveness of the combat, I definitely feel quite a lot. I would have loved if there was just another weapon or just something else. Pick up a musket, pick up an axe, like that sort of thing, which is why the original had that. And I feel it's quite samey. It's quite easy, but at the same time, you can switch your brain off and do it, and it's fine.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, actually prefer it to the original Black Flag combat. I've never really been a big fan of AC3 and Black Flag and Rogue's combat. It felt, I don't know, I just found it very like I was not in control sort of thing. It's hard
It
to
looks
explain.
flashy, but it's not like there's no actual skill to it, I don't think.
It's just it's literally just
Yeah, that's it.
it is as
Find
well
it as
for the
well, yeah.
originals as well though. And
The
and I
original, you
liked it
just have to
most
press the
more.
extra button to go into high and low profile to counter and kill.
Yeah. But I think again, like you said, it's very simple in this. It's not even that much more complicated or anything. It's just you get a few more abilities, but then you also lose the ability to pick up weapons and that sort of thing. And look, I thought it was all right. I thought it was all right. You know, I've never really seen Assassin's Creed as being, you know, the
Action, I
game
guess.
series to have deep combat. You know, I've never really seen it as that, so I wasn't expecting much, and I preferred it to Shadows 100%.
Oh.
Um, I didn't really like Shadows combat, to be honest. But I like this. I thought it was all right. Um, I mean, they had the Spartan kick. They added
Yeah,
that.
they had to. They had to.
They love
Um,
that, don't they? The Spartan kick.
yeah, I feel like Shadows had a bit more depth, to be honest. I feel like they had like armored enemies with different ways of getting rid of their armor and different classes. I feel like in Resynced, you've basically got like the enemies that have axes, the enemies that shoot at you, which if you're wearing a certain trinket, I don't know, have you done all of the Mayan? Have you got the Mayan outfit yet? When you get that, it's not the outfit that is bulletproof, it's a trinket you get. So every outfit can be bulletproof. And when these guys with like the flamethrower shotgun things, when they shoot at you, they do no damage. So that enemy type gets entirely removed from the game, basically. Same with snipers. I just felt like in Black Flag Resynced, a lot of the enemy types kind of lose their role in the original, where you had to
Yeah.
like do certain moves. I feel like in Resynced, you can just do pretty much the same thing on all of them. And yeah, it kind of removes a bit of the challenge. And I think Shadows still had like enemy classes quite well.
Yeah.
And the boss fights were a lot more thought out.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I didn't mind that. My best boss fight I thought was the El Tiburon guy at the end.
Yeah, I
That
thought
was
that was
good.
great. They actually turned it into a boss fight instead of just something. I was
Yeah.
running around for ages. I couldn't figure out what you had to do. I could
Well,
not
like,
figure it
what
out.
do you mean? Well, you can figure out how to kill the guy like that. You had to kill him.
There was, if you
What do
watch
you
my
mean?
gameplay, I didn't even do the way you're meant to.
Oh, what did you do?
There's like, I think there's barrels you're meant to blow up next to him or something like that.
Oh, I was just dodging him and fighting, and then running around and picking up food to heal.
Yeah,
Around the market.
but
But it was good
he
fight. Like, it was
says
the
in the
only
gameplays,
challenge.
yeah, he says in the gameplay that weapons aren't going to work on him, like blades and swords aren't going to work on him.
Oh, my
So
swords did.
I just kept shooting him. I just kept picking up ammo and
Oh,
bang, bang, bang. But I found that the more headshots you do, eventually his helmet would come off, and then you
yeah.
could kill him quicker. But it took me ages to beat him.
Yeah, I would shoot him and then run in and slash him a
Ah,
load and then run around. But no, combat was all right. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but I thought for what it was, it's all right. It's all
yeah,
right.
it's fine. It
It's
does
all
the
right.
job. It does the job.
Yeah, yeah. What else? Obviously, there's the whole parkour
I thought parkour
conversation.
was great, to be honest. I thought compared to Shadows and Mirage, I think this is the best
I
version we've had in a while.
I guess. Yeah, no, in the best one we've had in a while. I still don't think it was as good as the Black Flag parkour. And again, like I said in my review video, it's a Black Flag never had like peak AC parkour, but I still think it was a hell of a lot better than it is in Resynced. You still
Right.
did have more control. Personally, that's what I think. Personally, I do because you know it still had remnants of the OG parkour system, and I do think it was better personally. Uh, but maybe that's because there was the high profile aspect to it that the new one doesn't have. So maybe it was just
True.
that. I don't know. But I don't really know anything else to say about parkour other than that, really.
Yeah. I mean, the
Oh,
islands have been sort of redesigned to make, I think, the parkour a bit. I feel like in the original, all of the islands are just made for like one set path. You go here, you get this collectible, and you go here. Whereas now they're all a little bit more like diverse, and you can go wherever you like. And I feel like the parkour is well attributed to that. I guess I can only imagine what this game would have been like if it came out around Valhalla. Just how stripped back it would have been
yeah.
parkour wise, but it's in a good place where I feel like the parkour is like enjoyable to just play the game with, and it doesn't feel like, oh fuck's sake, I can't do what I want to.
Yeah. I still do find it quite clunky. Like I found many times where I would try and climb something and he would just climb up somewhere else near it,
Hmm.
or I'd go to jump onto a beam. Then again, I did have like the free jump thing on, but to be that's I even find that weird. I think it says like if you want more control in your parkour, and I'm thinking, why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Why
yeah. I
like
suppose
why
some
would you want a
people
more on
just want
rails
a
experience?
simple on rails experience.
Yeah, I guess,
I've never
but
actually switched it off to see what the difference is. I imagine it's quite severe.
yeah. I guess, yeah. But so I did jump down when I wasn't trying to a lot, and I try and climb up things, and he just wouldn't. But then again,
That's been an
I don't know.
issue in the
That's what I've got to
series
say
for
about
like the entirety of it. I
it. Yeah, well,
remember
I mean,
it's probably just one of these audio clips in my head, but I remember specifically Unity's review from IGN. They had a bit in it where they said, "Is this the year where Assassin's Creed fixes its parkour so you can actually use it properly?" And they go, "Of course not. The series can't do that." And I was like, "Yeah,
yeah,
we're still there. We're still there at this point."
yeah. What did you think about stealth?
I thought it was kind of bad compared to Shadows. I think the one thing Shadows did really well was the stealth, because it was like guards reacted to your footsteps, the noise you'd make, and also you could go prone in the shadows at night and they wouldn't see you. Whereas in Black Flag, if you crouch in the shadows at night, they're still going to see you. So it doesn't matter what time of day it is, they're still going to detect you. And I was so used to shadows and being able to use these extra like noise and light mechanics that when they were gone, You know, even like in Shadows, if you put out a torch, the guards wouldn't see you. If you threw a thing at a lantern and the lantern went out, you had a better chance to sneak up on them. That's not in Black Flag. It's a lot more dumbed down to just be the classic hide in a bush sort of thing that was in the original. And I was really surprised that it was missing, considering it's on the same pipeline engine.
Well, do you know, funny enough, I wasn't expecting it to be as in depth as Shadows with the prone and all the stuff you mentioned. But maybe that's just because I didn't really think about it too much. But I didn't expect it to be like from the jump. I did not think they were gonna have prone. I thought that was a specific
No,
Shadows
yeah.
thing.
I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting prone. But
yeah, or
even I
like
thought,
cutting out lights and stuff like that. You know.
yeah, but I still would have liked it at night time if you could hide in the shadows, or like being at night actually helped, because Black Flag
Yeah.
has the ability to skip the time of day, so wouldn't it be cool if you could skip to night time and have a better job during stealth? But I don't know, maybe they didn't want people to just skip to night time all the time.
I mean, they
Maybe.
added that to Shadows, didn't they? Because I remember
Yeah, it's
the
locked behind like an
Simon guy.
upgrade.
I remember the Simon dude was like, "Ah,
Yeah,
not
I
all
didn't
of
want
us
to.
wanted to add this in, but you know, what people wanted won in the end." And
They added
yeah,
it like behind a very high upgrade for your hideout. So you had to upgrade one of the rooms to a very high level before you could unlock that. I only got it like, I think it was in the update before Shadows finished. That's when I finally got the skip time of day, because you had to do it for the Cassandra vault thing. So they hid it well enough away, but yeah, at least in Resynced you can just sit down and do it whenever.
yeah, he just like sits back and stares off into the distance for a whole day, and it
I
spins
found it
around.
really awkward. There are some scenes in the main story where you're required to sit and wait, only for like a cutscene to play. I was like, why don't they just play the
Yes.
cutscene during a certain time? Is it because the cutscene has only been rendered at a certain time of day? Like, why do I have to wait?
Well, I assumed for the main story they wanted to preserve when scenes were set,
Yeah.
and some of them you had to wait.
But why
But
wait?
I
Why
guess
not
it was
just
just
start the
that.
cutscene during a different time of
To be
day?
fair, though, did you notice when you'd be sailing on your ship towards a certain mission,
Yeah.
all of a sudden the weather would just completely change in real
Yes, it was
time?
very quick. Yeah.
There'll be a storm, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah,
sunny.
sunny.
Also, also that's another thing. I feel like there's way too many storms. Like the whole time I was playing, there was always a
You
storm, and
can't
I just felt,
release the wheel because you're in a storm. You can't
oh,
go full sail because you're in a storm. Yeah.
yeah. And it's like I feel like the Caribbean would not have this many storms like
Yeah.
every single day.
Do you know what's funny
You
as
know?
well? When I was just putting together my review and I was just reviewing my gameplay, I noticed like I was trying to get scenes during the day because that's when you can actually see what's going on for the review, like see what's going on screen. Like, I think about 60-70% of my playthrough was at night. It was at
Yeah,
night so often, like compared to during the day. And I don't know if that's like an
yeah.
imbalance in the day night cycle or something, but I felt like it was
No.
nighttime just all the time.
Yeah, I feel like they've got to rebalance like the day
They
night
really,
cycle and like
yeah.
the weather. They need to tone down the storms, I think. Also,
Yeah.
just to say, my new video literally just dropped.
Oh, go and check it out, everyone. Go and
After
have a
after
after.
we wrap this up.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
also,
guess.
also, just to also real quickly say, we had a question earlier from the hidden one that says, "What do you think about Roger Craig Smith's
Oh
voice lines
yeah,
being
yeah.
added back?" And the reason I want to bring this up is
Are they
because
doing that?
this video I just made, I mentioned the fact that Roger Craig Smith was taken out, and now that's out of date because we found out they're adding it back. So
But
the first thing in my video is now technically wrong.
is that though? I don't know if.
Yeah, the hidden one I saw is on Twitter. Yeah, like yesterday, he said Ubisoft have said that they will be adding his lines for the Italian diplomat back into in an update in the next update.
That's weird though. Like, why didn't they do it at first?
Don't know.
Huh.
What else do we want to quickly wrap up in the next couple minutes because
Um.
I'm gonna have to go in like 3 minutes.
That's all right. Well, I guess we've spoke about the three pillars, I guess.
Yeah. Should
Um,
we quickly answer some questions quick fire just so we've done it? Because like we
yeah.
said we
Is there any super
um
chats that we've missed? I don't think
w-
so. Yeah, I think we've covered all of those. If anyone has any questions, quickly pop them in and we'll
now
address
is your
them.
chance. Now is your chance. Yeah. Because wait, hang on. Let's have a look. I'm just quickly scanning through the chat to see. I mean the main question we already answered from Podge, which was would you want a rogue
Ooh.
resynced? And I personally wouldn't, but
Yerba has
what do you think?
it says I don't know how have you been able is it because you're a member you've been able to get a big
Yeah, you
question
can
thing, is it? That's cool.
if you're a member, you can do one of those every whatever.
Oh, awesome.
Uh,
So Yerba has asked, have you encountered buggy AI during stealth? I absolutely have. I feel like I get detected and undetected, like randomly.
I just found that it was very, for me, it was very easy. Like they were very
Hmm.
dumb. You know,
Oh,
like I'd
they are, yeah.
whistle, huh?
The
And like,
fact
but
that
then like,
it's the fact that you know
I'd,
the animations where you hop out the bush to kill someone, then drag them in. You'll get detected if you do that, but if you wait in the bush and kill them by standing up, killing them, and dropping back down, they do not notice you're there. They do not
I know.
notice you. It's really
And,
stupid.
oh, here's a good question. Do you think the Master Assassin outfit, not the golden black
Oh
one,
yeah, that's a debate as
uh,
well.
wait, what's the question? He just says, "Do you think the
Do you
Master
think it will
Assassin
become
outfit?"
canon?
Oh, right. Which one? Which
That's
one?
this one. This one here.
Oh, how do you get that in the game?
So I believe you have to collect 30 art pieces for the butler. I've got 28 at the minute, so I'm really close to getting it. By getting 11 portraits of all the main characters, you get Haytham's overcoat recolor, which I thought was that one, but it's not, so I'm having to still work to get that one. There's a blue and black
I
recolor of it as well that's a map that you have to piece together.
I don't think they will make it canon. I think they'll keep Edward's classic look because otherwise they'd have to
Hmm.
rebrand his look and
Oh, I think
it
I
might be
think
canon.
it might be canon when he gets back home. I don't think it's going to be canon like it's pretty much
I
it's just his
I don't
normal
think it will get
outfit but with the
mentioned.
cloak and then a new hood. Like it still looks just like Edward's outfit. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just something
I
fun that they shoved in there.
Yeah, I think that even if it does get like made, oh, this is canon that he wore this when he went back to England. I
Yeah.
don't think it'll ever get shown again or really talked
Nah.
about. Yeah.
It's like Naui is. They're
All
never
right.
going to show Naui in that assassin outfit.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway, I've got to go.
Yeah, no worries. Well, thank you everybody for tuning into this live stream. It's been great to chat about Black Flag Resynced, and keep an eye out for our next episode, which will be a full spoiler cast, which we will do. Well, I say spoiler cast, spoiler episode. It will not be live. It will not be live. It will be a traditional episode, and we'll be bringing that out in 2 weeks. 2 weeks today.
Yes. Now,
So,
guys, if you're really bored now when we end this live and you want an Assassin's Creed video, check out 10 changes you missed in Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced
oh, is
on
that
my
what it
channel,
is?
The Exile.
I'm gonna go and
Yeah.
watch that. I'm gonna go and watch that
Hell,
myself.
hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you enjoy it, Willie.
Don't like that.
What? Why?
All right. Thank you everybody for popping along, and we will see you there.
Hey, thanks guys. See you next week.